I just want to document the plywood, how it's fastened down, coming down the grade. Uh, Once it comes past here, the homosote's removed. So I just want to document if I have to remove any screws later on, where about they're located. All right, coming down the front, 2 foot wide section, have the screws every 8 inches on the center cross members, and then basically every 16 inches along the edge. Same thing on this side, 2 foot wide section, every 8 inches. I put one on the seam on both sides like this, a screw on each side of the seam where the two tables join together. And coming back up where it's going to head back over to where we started. I did put 2 screws in the little support in the middle. And again, this is 2 foot wide section, so it's every 8 inches. Then where this funny part met, I did put the block with 8 screws in it. And it's going back up the grade. Well, here is a 45-degree corner I'm adding to make room for the curves. And it's right over parallel to that 45-degree. I'll cut a piece of wood that's about 2 feet long here and mitered the corners 45 degrees. And then I added another block of wood behind it, so I'll have something to screw into from the front of this piece over here. Then in the corner at the back, I put in 2 more pieces of wood to hold the top of the plywood, and did the same thing over here with another piece of wood at a 45. Right now I'm clamping it, getting ready to drill the holes, put a 2-inch screw that's going to go in about where it's located, straight down here to hold it. I'm not sure, I might just put 2, I think. And right now got a little bit more work to do because I got this other corner to do, and then around to the other side to the right I've got this other longer piece of wood to put in on this corner to make room for the switches to come across here. Alright, now I've got everything, all the plywood cut and screwed down on all 3 spots. These 2 identical 45-degree corners, and then this is just a freelanced angle here. Nothing, they're just custom corners. So now I've got to cut the homosote to fit over top. I've got a scrap piece there that'll fit this corner, so I'll go ahead and get the homosote cut. Well, now I have all the homosote down. All the corners are filled in, the 2 45s and this other triangle. So I've got everything screwed down fairly close together so it doesn't warp or bulge up. And I've also used this Sureform by Stanley tool to, wherever the homosote wasn't quite the same height, shaved it down a little. Wasn't off by too much. Some of the fuzzy edges, I went ahead and got the fuzzy edges off of that also. So now I'm going to caulk the seams, because I may ballast this track, and sometimes when you put the glue down, if you don't have the cracks filled in, you end up with glue on the floor. And I only used 2 full sheets of homosote for all of this, and I had 2 pieces left over, a little bigger than that square, 2 squares that a little bit bigger than that. After I caulk it, I'm going to try this waterproofing paint. It's made for masonry, but I want to try it on the homosote, because like I said, if we use the white glue diluted, then it would soak into the homosote. And this paint is supposed to be flexible after it dries. And this is the waterproofing paint that doesn't have any little pieces of grit in it. It's smooth finish. And I got a gray color tint to it. I'm actually going to use it on my wall, my basement wall on this side back there. So this is the first time I'll be trying this paint without the stone grit in it. So I'll get the caulk out and caulk all the seams and then paint it, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Alright, here's the finished product after I got the paint applied. It came out pretty well. It's a light gray, like I said. I like the color of it. Should be easy to draw lines on it to make the centers for the track, and also, you know, protect the surface and keep moisture out. So I didn't put enough paint in to soak into the screw heads. I mean, some of them got painted on top, but I tried to make sure I could still get the screws out. And I like the way it looks with the seams all caulked. Makes it look real nice. And like I said, it'll keep the glue from soaking down in there. And next step would be draw the lines and get the track started. And I'll show you up the ramp also. So the trains will all come down that double track there and then split into 5 tracks to go all the way around this and make a loop, a reverse loop that'll go all the way around the table. 5 tracks will combine back into basically 1 track on this side, 1 track on the other side, and then there'll be a crossover over there. So let me go around to the other side and show you how it goes up the incline. Alright, here's the other side where the tracks go back up into 2, and then they're going to go up this 2% or 3% grade. Be a double track going all the way around here, and 2 tracks going all the way up there to a switch, and then it'll go to 1 track and go around the curve down there. Let me get the light on and I can show you. Alright, I've got a light on and put the switch approximately where it's going to go. Back to 1 track, and 1 track will go around the curve here, and then eventually it'll end up on the top level. So right back there it'll go into another switch, and then eventually go down the layout on that side. So the next thing I'm going to do is take all the stuff off the top of the table, and then I've got this 3 sheets of foam, and I'm going to put that on top, and then the Homosode on top of the foam, and then I'm going to use 2-inch screws to go all the way through and hold it down. Actually 3-inch screws. So I'm going to end up putting all this Homosode on top of the table, on top of the 2-inch foam. So here's the other side where I'm going to put the foam, and then eventually this table, the top level, will get extended over top of this, and you know, there'll be trains all on top of the bottom loop. Well, that's all there is for this episode. So everyone take care, and I'll see you next time.